YouTube Ozzico and the Godows is back with updates to some of my Week 2 predictions. It is Saturday night right now. Can't wait for Sunday's action of Week 2 tomorrow. But maybe we'll do this video more often during the year if necessary. But I do my score predictions / picks against the spread video every Wednesday. That is out for Week 2. If you want to see all my predictions, go check out that video. But I have some tweaks to some games in this video that I'll show you because of injuries, line changes, things like that. So we'll go over the limited, little amount of games that I changed in terms of my score predictions. We'll go over my updated against the spread picks for games that I've changed because of line changes. And then we'll recap my best bets when it comes to against the spread. We also have a separate best bets and locks video on the channel that is still very much valid, and I'm definitely going with those predictions still. So this is, again, not all the predictions. This is kind of an updating what I changed. So not going over every game in this video, but I would check out those other videos. Because you see our schedule on the bottom left, all those Week 2 videos already out. Check us out on Twitter and check out our sponsors. Link pinned in the comments. So again, if this is your first video watching on the week, go watch those other videos as well. We're not going over every game. But the Packers-Falcons was a tough one to predict as it was. I had the Packers 19-16 in my original score predictions video, but they were minus 2.5. They were favored by 2.5 points. That changed. They're underdogs by 1.5 now. That is due to, number one, money going on the Falcons. I should say, number one, Packers having some injuries, and then, number two, people putting money on the Falcons, and therefore the line kind of flipping a little bit, changing a little bit. And I was really hoping to get some more information on Aaron Jones and David Bakhtiari. Aaron Jones, David Bakhtiari, who are currently questionable for the Packers, but maybe won't know until game time or just before game time tomorrow. They did elevate a running back. They did that last week as well, though, and Aaron Jones still played. There was really no issue out there for the running backs. I'm still going to go with the Packers on this one. I'm not a big game change type, a pick change type of guy, but there is a tweak here. Instead of 19-16, it'll be 17-16. The Packers are getting points. The Falcons could definitely win. It's a 50-50 game. The reason being, I'm going to go with the Packers still, is I think it's going to be a very good defensive game, and I like the Packers defense a little bit more here, but the Falcons defense got some playmakers, including Jesse Bates. He could take the ball, or it doesn't have to be him, but could take the ball from Jordan Love and cause a problem. But the Packers defense is pretty damn balanced, pretty damn stout. Quay Walker, there was some concern he might not play at a pick 6 last week, and kind of a rising young player. He will play, so that is big. Defensive game, I like the Packers a little bit more. Both teams very good on the ground. Bijan, Algier, they could be the difference. I like the Packers defense a little bit more here. Forcing Ritter in some uncomfortable situations. He actually got pressured a bit last week. Falcons' offensive line was a little underwhelming. It's supposed to be very good. I thought Ritter's not too great under pressure. A lot of that could have been on him. I think better at getting pressure. The Packers. Bakhtiari could be out. That could play a part. So some things to monitor, but I'm going to stick with my original feeling, which was a defensive game. Better defense wins the defensive game. The Falcons' defense is an improving defense. Got some studs out there. Bates, Terrell, etc. Grady Jarrett, keep going on. But I'm going to stick with the Packers. But the line did change a bit, so that's why I wanted to update you on this one. And, I'm going to keep mentioning it, but not all games are in this video. This is kind of just my updated predictions. Go check out the other videos on the channel. Small tweak this one. It's very small tweak. I had 24, but there's more to talk about here. I had 24-17 Chargers. I have 24-16 now. The Chargers were favored by 3 before. It's only 2.5 now. It went down because, since what happened after our prediction, Eckler was ruled out. Joey Bosa is still questionable. So that made the line closer. A lot of people going with the Titans. So maybe you want to make the score a little closer. But then since then, we got announced the Titans will be missing 2 starters in the secondary, safety Amani Hooker, and then corner Christian Fulton, who I think is their best corner. And also today we found out Peter Skoronski, a rookie, but their best offensive lineman, their best guard, best offensive lineman in general for pass protecting and run blocking, in my opinion. So that's pretty big too. And I think that affects the Titans, and DeAndre Hopkins is questionable as well. I think it all affects the Titans because for them to beat the Chargers, they're going to have to run the ball. They run the ball well. Tannehill's they're going to have to take care of the ball. Skoronski being out. I mean, Derrick Henry can still run pretty well and win them the game, and there's a scenario where they win. But I think it affects them a little bit. And the Chargers are missing Austin Eckler, but with all these who's out, who's in situations, I think they're big winners in it because they ran the ball effectively last week, but the Titans are best in football stopping a run. Statistically, not yet, I guess, but they have been. They're very good. They're very good. The Chargers have to pass to beat the Titans, and the Chargers can pass. They have weapons, and they have Justin Herbert. No Austin Eckler. They're going to pass the ball. 2 defensive backs out for the Titans. I think they're going to be effective passing the ball. They are missing Eric Kendricks on defense. Again, the Titans could win this game by getting the ball early and pounding the football, keeping Herbert on the sideline, running the clock. But I think the Chargers are going to be explosive through the air and maybe get a little bit of a lead and limit what the Titans can do, kind of take away the run possibly. So I am comfortable around the same range. I had 24-17 last time. They were -3. It's down to 2.5, but it's probably going to go back up by the time that these two teams are playing. But to kick off, I would imagine it goes back up more than 2.5, more than 3 maybe. 24-16 is what I got. Really want to talk about that one because the different injuries that have popped up since the last time we talked, but how it affects the matchup in the game. Like, it actually isn't a it's pretty big because Eckler's a great player, but in terms of the matchup, it doesn't really change a whole lot for the Chargers there. So they should have the advantage with these injuries. But a lot of people picking the Titans in this one, maybe not anymore after those injuries. I like the Chargers. The Titans are going to have to pound the football. See how they do there. I picked the Jags, and I'm going to make a change. And making a change usually comes back to haunt me. It hurts me. So good news for Jaguars fans. I am pretty good at predicting over the years, but when it comes to changing my picks, it's almost like my original is like guaranteed to be right. So, that's not guaranteed, but that's a tough part there. But, since last time we talked, we've found out that Chris Jones is for sure playing, and Travis Kelce is, I think it's like 99% chance he's going to play. So leaning towards Chiefs, but another thing as well, the Jags had a couple interior offensive linemen questionable. They will play, but it came to tonight to learn that they're later this afternoon that they will play. And they struggled last week as well. You got Chris Jones back causing a ruckus on the interior. That could play a part as well. Also hard to see the Chiefs drop to 0-2, but is that a logical reason just to pick them? But I do have other reasons. And the line keeps going up. People kind of, thinking that the Chiefs will cover that 3 that it was even. I don't think that. It is kind of close, but then the Jags have a pretty damn good, a decent shot to win this game. But I am leaning Chiefs on the pick as a very, very tough one to pick. But the Jags, my original gut was with them, but again, didn't love how the interior was playing. They're a little beat up there, but they're explosive with Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk probably has a better game. Evan Engram, the ETN, they're explosive. These guys, Trevor Lawrence looked really good this last week. He is a very good quarterback. I think Mahomes wins with his legs and through the air as well. They had extra time to prepare as well, so kind of leaning Chiefs right now, but that's going to be a hell of a game. 26-24 is what I got. We'll see what happens in that one. And a small change, and there's more to go over here still, but a small change to the Jets-Cowboys. I had a 20-10 victory for the Cowboys, bumped it up a little bit, 24-10. Thought about decreasing the Jets even because their kicker is out, but that doesn't mean they can't get a field goal. I just don't expect much from the Jets offense against arguably the best defensive football, and the Jets arguably have the best defensive football too, and why it could be close. They can really slow down the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys defense is going to make so many plays that they're going to set, they might score on defense. They're going to set the offense up. So a little bit of a boost for points there since my last prediction, 24-10. And then some updates to my picks against the spread. All my picks against the spread predictions, if that made sense, are on the original score predictions video. The thumbnail is right here. That's what it looks like. It's pretty similar to this one, but it's earlier in the week. So all the other against the spread picks, because I do it for every game, will stand. So we're clear, what's on your screen is not what I'm telling you to bet on. I just make picks against the spread for every game. So these are the ones that are tweaked a little bit. I had the Packers as it was, but now they are plus 1.5, so maybe more likely. So we get the Packers one right now. The Bills, I already had the Bills. It was 9.5. Now it's 8. Feeling a little bit better about that one. And then the Chargers, I already had, but they're 2.5 instead of 3. But again, something to keep an eye on that could shoot back up by the time the game starts. The Giants I liked a lot, -5.5. So I like even more -4. But just an update there to the line. In the Niners, I liked -8, but they're -7, which actually is a pretty big difference. They go exactly at a touchdown. So those are some updates to throw in to my already existing against the spread picks. And then I do have my favorite bets is a recent video, favorite bets and locks for week 2. Everything on there still stands, but kind of going over when it comes to against the spread, and we have a money line in there. We do talk about over-unders and straight up, things like that in that locks video. But my best bets, I still love the Giants. I loved them at -5.5. They're -4 now. It's fantastic. The Chargers, I loved at -3. Titans guys are out now. A bunch of Titans guys, and they're -2.5. I love that. The Niners I didn't have on there because 8 seemed like a lot, even though I thought they were going to cover. I thought they were going to cover, but it seemed like a lot. But 7, it's a 1-point difference, but it's a big difference because you're at that touchdown line right now. And the Niners just, could be the best team in football. The Rams looked impressive last week, but Niners can be the best team in football. It's a bad matchup for the Rams. The Niners will score on them because it's Aaron Donald kind of carrying a crew out there. Didn't look like it last week, but against Shanahan's offense, Purdy balling, Ayuk balling, Debo, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Trent, etc. I don't keep listing players here. They'll be effective. And Stafford was great last week. Puka Nacua was great last week. Kyron Williams getting in the end zone, but the Niners defense are going to make those guys' jobs a lot harder, and Stafford usually struggles against them anyways. A lot of people picking the Patriots +2.5. I like the Dolphins 2.5. It's a little scary because it feels like the whole world's picking the Patriots +2.5. There's some people picking the Patriots to win. I think it's because they caught fire at the end of that Eagles game. I don't know, looking at the Eagles, even though they're 2-0, I don't know if they're as good as we thought. The Dolphins' offense is very good. It's very explosive. They beat up man coverage. The Patriots play man, so I still like them. And I threw the Saints in there, which I actually didn't have in that locks video. I didn't have the Niners, and I didn't have the Saints, so those are 2 new ones. But the Saints -3, growing on me more and more. It's a little tricky because the Panthers, got guys like Brian Burns that can cause problems, of course, in their home on Monday night. That usually gives you an advantage, but I love the matchup with the Saints. Their defense is very solid. I love the secondary. It's so good in the secondary. They got playmakers, and they're playing a second-game quarterback. First year Bryce Young with an inconsistent offensive line. No star talent, even close to star talent to help them out against that secondary. And then I think Derek Carr could have a day throwing to his targets, including Chris Olave. Mainly pointing out Chris Olave. Against a J.C. Horn-less Panthers, because obviously he's out. So I think they win by around a touchdown or more. And I do like the Steelers' chances of winning, even though the Browns are the better team. So Steelers +2.5 or money line. You might as well go money line if it was if it was 3 or 3.5. Spread all day, especially if it was 3.5. But it's 2.5. And again, they could lose by 1 or 2, and then you could be hating on me then. But the streak of Monday night, Amari Cooper now questionable. I think TJ Watt tees off. And they just get by, but we will see in that one. So those are my best bets, when it comes to the spread, and we have a money line. But that video that is right here has the same thing, -49ers and Saints, but also straight up more money line, potential upsets, over-under, possible parlay scenarios, which we did really good last week. So this video was kind of just last-second updates, line changes, things like that. I will not have this every week. Most weeks I probably won't. This week, week 2 is very tough. A lot of back and forth, like tough picks and some injuries, a lot of line changes. More than back and forth line changes than I'm used to, really. So again, if this is the first video you're watching from me, we got full predictions. Go check out all the other videos. I cover every game, every team. So I'd go check those out, kind of pair these videos together. All you got to do is check out our channel. Click on our channel right now. You will not be disappointed with the content every week, even in the off season. That's going to do it here with this one. Always talking with you guys on Twitter. So if you want to get at me there, we can talk. Always talking, during live games. So I love Sunday football, so I can't wait for that tomorrow. So, very much excited. But subscribe, turn notifications on, check out all those important links pinned in the comments. Going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.